All right, what is going on, guys? UFC 315, Bilal Muhammad versus Jack Della Maddalena has ended, and this is going to be the fights to make after the event. Starting off with the main event, JDM. They've already made this fight. I like the fight. That's Islam Makhachev. We're going to get a double champ, someone attempting to become a double champ. Islam gave Volk the chance. Now JDM is going to give Islam the chance. If I remember correctly, I believe Volk was also Islam's first title defense. So maybe we can get that to happen again on the fact of JDM. I really think JDM is going to win that fight. Maybe I'll change my mind when we get closer to the fight and I watch a little bit of tape. But Islam was getting bullied and busted up by Dustin Poirier and Volkanovski in that fifth round. And I think if JDM fought either one of those guys, I think he would butcher them. So, yeah, I'm leaning JDM right now. I think it's a great fight, fun fight. I really did want to see Ilia Topuria versus Islam Makhachev. But, if Islam loses or wins, hopefully he goes back down and defends his belt. Moving on, Bilal Muhammad, loser of the main event. I kind of thought, I went back and forth with a lot of fighters on this card, primarily the women. There were so many fights I was flopping back and forth. But for Bilal Muhammad, I ended off with Ian Gary. I think this would be a very fun fight. I think I might lean Gary to win that fight. I think the striking differential on the feet is significant enough. I know Gary just went through a 5-round fight and he came in as the backup, but Bilal's definitely going to need some time off. My only worry is, will Gary want to sit out that long? If it's for Bilal, he probably will. Because Bilal, in theory, he should be ranked number 1. Brady will jump down to number 2. So Gary could potentially take the number 1 spot with the win over Bilal. And they could do that later this year, sometime in the fall, more than likely. After the summer, I don't see Bilal wanting to come back anytime soon. Definitely towards the end of the year. But I think this is a very good matchup for either get Bilal back on the winning track or for Gary to try and get a title shot. Moving on, Valentina Shevchenko beat Manon Fiorot to retain her flyweight title. I almost said strawweight. And again, it kind of looks like we're going to get a super fight. We're going to get Valentina Shevchenko versus Zhang Weili. If not, put Natalia Silva in there. Okay? She's, in my opinion, the rightful number 1 contender at flyweight. But this would be a great fun fight to watch. Weili is arguably the GOAT of the women's strawweight division. Kind of close with Joanna Jędrzejczyk. They're kind of neck and neck. I think Jędrzejczyk had more title defenses, if I remember correctly, than Weili. But Weili's beat her every time she's fought her. So, very fun, very exciting matchup. I would hope if they're going to do this, let's go ahead and do it by the end of the year. Because some of these women's champions only fight once, maybe twice a year. Weili's been pretty inactive. Shevchenko recently has only been fighting once a year, fighting Alexa Grasso. So hopefully we can get this in the fall time. It would be a great return date, kinda, for Shevchenko and Weili. Moving on, Manon Fiorot loses. I went back and forth in my head. The original matchup I had for her was actually the incorrect matchup for her. I realized that after fact. I came up with Grasso. So they both were fighting on this card. Grasso's a former champion. She lost. They both lost. I think it would be great to put them together. They both kind of took a lot of damage. Both got busted up. I think Fiorot probably took more damage than Grasso did, but Grasso was pretty busted up in her face. And after seeing what the success that Manon Fiorot was able to have against Shevchenko, I think I would pick Manon Fiorot to beat Alexa Grasso, bully her, outmuscle her, outwork her. But hey, I think this would be a great matchup in the women's flyweight division. Both coming off a loss. Grasso coming off 2 losses. See if she can bounce back. Moving on, Natalia Silva. So here in a couple weeks, we're going to have Erin Blanchfield taking on Macy Barber. And I want Natalia Silva to take on the winner of that fight And as of now, I'm picking Erin Blanchfield. I think originally I was gonna do the winner of that fight fighting Manon Fior, but then I realized that would be a rematch for Erin Blanchfield. And if she's gonna become champion, and that's clearly her goal, she needs to be able to beat anybody in this division. And she lost to Manon Fior, so why would she not want to get that win back? But I get it's really too soon. It's not been that long since their fight. This would be a fresh matchup for both girls. And if they're going to do Valentina Shevchenko versus Zhang Weili, you could go ahead and do Natalia Silva versus, assuming Erin Blanchfield wins, if not Macy Barber, for a number one contender fight. And then you have Jasmine Jasudavicius, as you can see her down there. We'll get to her in a minute. She's also coming up in the women's flyweight division. So, and again, you got Maverick working her way up too. She's going to fight Rose Namajunas. So there's a lot of moving parts at women's flyweight. You're getting several contenders up and coming that are on hot streaks. Like if Macy Barber can beat Erin Blanchfield. I know Erin Blanchfield hasn't fought for a title, but I think Macy Barber would be on like a 7 or 8 fight win streak at that point. So she'd be getting very, very, very close to a title shot as well. But I think this would be a great matchup at the women's flyweight division. Moving on, Ayman Zahabi beats Jose Aldo and sends him into retirement. Ew. It sucks that Aldo had to go out on a loss. Nonetheless, I'm assuming Zahabi is going to return to bantamweight. So we're going to give him a step up. I'm assuming they probably won't rank him super high, even though he beat Aldo. I think Aldo is like 11 or 12. So Zahabi would go up a little bit if they do that, even though the fight was at featherweight. Oh, fuck. So tired from last night. The fight I came up with, I checked, he doesn't have a fight booked. Rob Font. Rob Font is the gatekeeper of the top 10 of the bantamweight division. He's older as well. I think him and Ayman Zahabi are around the same age. Rob Font might be 38 years old. Rob Font's coming off 2 back-to-back wins from the young, up-and-coming contenders at bantamweight. He beat Kyler Phillips, and the fight after that he beat, was it Jean Massimento? I can't remember who he was originally supposed to fight, but they pulled out, and he fought Nascimento instead. I think that was his name. But yeah, great step up in competition, and I think this is a very winnable matchup for Rob Font. I'm a big Rob Font fan. He's always in there. And most of the time he's winning fights until he isn't. So I think in this fight, he's not going to have to worry about gassing out versus Ayman Zahabi. Rob Font can go a hard 5 rounds. He's done it before several times and gotten beat the shit up as well. But yeah, I think it's a good step up in competition for Ayman Zahabi. And for Rob Font, I understand this would be the 3rd person he's fought. But hey, the last 2 before that, Phillips was ranked. Massimento was not ranked. For Zahabi, he's kind of earned his step up in competition. And for Rob Font, every time he's gotten a step up, he's lost. So if he can get a win over Ayman Zahabi, then we can talk about getting Rob Font a step up in competition. Moving on, Jasmine Jasudavicius beat Jessica Andrade in the first round, finishes her. And listen, I'm just going to go ahead and show it. Macy Barber. So the thing you have with Erin Blanchfield and Macy Barber, we're going to flip these back and forth. If Erin Blanchfield loses, then we're going to have Jasudavicius fight her. And if Barber wins, we're going to have her fight Natalia Silva. So whoever wins that fight fights Silva. The loser of that fight fights Jasudavicius. Reason being, I think Jasudavicius should be somewhere ranked around 7 or 6 after the rankings update, hopefully. Even the loser of that fight will still be ranked higher than Jasudavicius, and it's in a couple weeks. So it would be a great step up in competition, no matter who it is. I think that would be, maybe one of the tougher tests of her career. Andrade, I don't really rate her that highly. I think Barber and Blanchfield, I think Blanchfield's already beat her, but I think Barber would also be able to beat Andrade at flyweight. But yeah, give her that fight. Moving on, Benoit Saint-Denis. Man, Benoit Saint-Denis calling out Gamera. Yes, Gamera, we will fight. Yes, I just want the training camp. No, fuck you, man. You need to defend your ranking. You beat a bum. You beat somebody who doesn't even belong in the UFC. Took the fight on short notice just to get slaughtered, and he didn't even look that good. He was supposed to go out of there and just demolish him in the first round. Couldn't do it. He needs to defend his spot. If he gets one more win, then we're going to give him a step up in competition. Besides, Gamrot has a fight in a couple weeks anyway. And the person I think that we're going to try and get to crack the top 15, Nasrat Haqparast. I believe he's on a 4-5 fight win streak right now, looking really good. Looks like he's improving from fight to fight. You know, not that long ago, he lost to Bobby Green. But look, he's come back. He's building back better. And I think he deserves to fight somebody in the top 15. He does not have a fight booked currently per any, what I can find online. I think this would be a very good fight. And I would pick Nasrat Haqparast to beat Benoit Saint-Denis in this hypothetical matchup. I think this would be a great fight in the lightweight division. You could rebook the Joel Alvarez fight, but I saw some things online saying that Alvarez, after this injury he just had, is permanently going to be moving up to welterweight. Cannot do the weight cut anymore. Doesn't want to. Don't blame him. He's fucking huge. Moving on, last but certainly least, Mike Malott, proper Mike Malott, goes out there, beats Charles Radke, one-sided beatdown from Mike Malott. Listen, I've seen some people online saying they want to see him fight ranked opposition. That's absolutely asinine. He's coming off of, is it 2 wins now, finally? Let's put him up against a young, up-and-coming contender who kind of got rejected, but is since back on track on a winning streak, and that is Gabriel Bonfim. I think this is the correct one. One of them's a welterweight, and one of them's a lightweight. Hopefully this is the welterweight one. Whichever one's the welterweight Bonfim brother, that's the one I want him to fight next. I think it would be a great fight between the two. The Bonfim brothers, I'm pretty sure this is the right one. Doing pretty good in the UFC. Both had their hiccups. But Gabriel is back on track. Needs, a lot's kind of old. I think he's like 34, 35 years old, which is, for a fighter, it's kind of old. Just on the tail end of his prime. Bonfim's young, up and coming. If he could get a win over Mike Malott and then maybe get another win after that, that would solidify, not loosely we'll say solidify, him being able to fight someone in the top 15 of the welterweight division. And same for Mike Malott. I think he would probably need 2 more wins. Same with Bonfim. Get a win over Malott, get 1 more win, then fight somebody in the rankings. But these are going to be my fights to make after UFC 315. Let me know in the comment section down below. Do you have any fights that you would change? If so, let me know. Make sure to subscribe, drop a like on the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.